supposed to find the average of student 7. Now, it is not the subject we are talking about. We are talking about the student 7 now, correct? So, first of all, let us access this. Now, can you tell me whether I require all the rows now? Whether I require all the rows? No. We require a particular row. What is that particular row? First of all, we'll call the students array. Yeah. What is the particular row that we require? Let's see. Can you see? If this is 0, obviously this will be 6, correct? So I'll mention students array of 6. The place of row I mentioned this. Okay, you can see student 7, 3, 79, 46, 9, and 71. Now the problem here is if I mention directly the mean function, okay, if I directly make use of this mean function, it will be a wrong. It is wrong. Can you tell me why it is wrong? Because if I use mean function, basically it is adding everything, correct? Even the name is also is been added. Now this is wrong. Name shouldn't be added. So what you're supposed to do is while accessing the columns, you are supposed to skip the first column, that is the student name, and you are supposed to access only the marks. So what I'm supposed to do? Anybody? So can I mention? So initially it will start from 0, right? So I don't want to start from 0. I want to start from 1. And if I mention colon and if I leave it like that only, what happens is it will move to the last column. That means it will access the first column and whatever is there till last, it will basically access those values. After that, you can basically run it and you can see the output is 41.6. Now, this is how you get the output of the question, that is find the average of student number 7. Now, if you want to print it this in a professional way, then you can mention like this. Student 7, put it inside a variable. Okay. And we can make use of a print statement saying that student 7. Okay, you can write like this. Average of student 7 is student underscore 7 dot mean. Okay, sorry, already it is done. So let us run it. You can see average of student 7 is 41.6. Is it clear? Yes. Now, find the average of student 7 for subject 2 to 4. So what is the meaning of this? First of all, find the average of student 7, right? First thing that you're going to do is find the values of student 7. Find the values of, find the particular row of student 7. So again, can I just access this? Can I just mention this student 7, right? So we'll get the student 7 here. Let's run it. We'll print the same thing, that is student 7. Okay, we are getting the values now, but the subject is from 2 to 4. That means we have to include 79, 46, and 9. So what I'm supposed to do? We are giving a comma. Now we are supposed to start from 2, colon, and where you're supposed to end? We are supposed to end at 4. But if I mention 4, it will end at 3 because of n minus 1. So I'm mentioning 5. Correct? So let's check once again. We are supposed to get 79, 46, and 9. Yes, we are getting 79, 46, and 9. Now, based on this, we are getting the mean function or the average, and you can basically print this. But while printing average of student 7 in subject 2 to 4 is, then you can mention like this. Okay, so answer is 44.66. Right, I hope this is also very much clear. We'll move on to the next task, that is task number 6. Find the count of students where subject 1 marks is greater than subject 2 marks. Now, this is a very interesting question. Okay, find the count of students where the subject 1 marks is greater than subject 2 marks. So, please tell me in the chat box, what are the columns we are column names we are dealing with here? What are the columns we are dealing with? It is one is subject 1, correct? And the subject 2. So can I do one thing? Can I just access those values? Subject 1, first of all, that is from the students array. I'll be getting all the rows, but I want a specific column, that is the first column, right? Same thing as the subject 1. We are doing the students array. We are getting again all the rows, but the second column. Now we got subject 1 and subject 2. So what is the condition? Can anybody tell me what should be the condition? The condition should be subject 1 marks should be greater than subject 2 mark. Yes or no? So let us mention subject 1 marks should be greater than subject 2 marks. Simple, right? So now if I run this condition, okay, if I run this condition, what might be my output? See the output. You can see we are getting the output in the form of true, false, all basically binary output. Now, what I'm supposed to do so that I can print the name of the students, forget about count, okay, forget about count of the students. I want to print the name of the students who have scored greater value. Subject 1 greater than subject 2. You are supposed to mention students array, that is the array name, and inside that you have to put the condition exactly as we have learned in the previous class, right? So let us run it. Can you see? Now we are getting those values where the student, the subject 1 marks is greater than subject 2 marks. Can you see? 89 is greater than 1, 87 is greater than 77. So it basically continues. If the question is find the, okay, if the question is find name and count, okay, find the name and count of students. So name, we have found it. But along with the name, we have a problem where it is printing all the subject marks. I don't want to print the subject marks. I want to just print the name of the student. So can anybody tell me in the chat box, what is the solution for this? I don't want to print all the subject marks along with the output. I just want to print the student name. Okay, forget. I just want to print the student name. Can you tell me what is the column name of this? Column name. 0, right? In the place of rows, again, please make sure you understand this. In the place of rows, I have mentioned condition. So if I give a comma, that means I'm in the position of columns. Yes or no? Yes or no? So can I mention directly 0 here? Let's see. If I mention 0, let's run it. Can you see? We are now getting only the student names. What we have done basically, in the place of rows, we have mentioned the condition. But if I give a comma, now we are in the position of columns where I have given 0. That is the first column. That is the reason we are only getting the student names. I hope this is also very much clear, right? Now we have not completed the question. We have not completed the question because we have found out the name, but we have not found out the count. But before that, let us print it neatly. Well, printed is saying that students who scored higher in subject 1 than subject 2 are, then you can print this like this, okay? And once we are complete with that, then we can move on to the next one where we are supposed to print the count of students, right? So count of students who's scored subject 1 marks higher than subject 2 marks. Okay, so what is supposed to do? We can make use of the length function here. Okay, so you can make use of the length function, len function, open and close bracket, and whatever the condition is there. Okay, you cannot just mention the condition because it is true and false. So let me just show you. If I mention just the condition, you can see the output is 15, which is wrong, right? So what you're supposed to do is you have to put the entire students array also. Okay, according to the students array, according to the condition, you are getting the students array. Now we'll close it. And now let's run it. Can you see? Now we are getting the correct answer, which is 6. Okay. So this is how you find the name and count of the students where subject 1 marks is basically greater than subject 2 marks. Clear? We'll get back to task number 4 once we are complete with the class. Don't worry. We'll move on to the task number 7 now. Okay. We'll move on to the task number 7. Yes. Find the student average for the first 10 students. Okay. Find the student average for the first 10 students. So what do you mean by student average? Can anybody tell me in the chat box? What do you mean by student average? Now we are not talking about the subject average. We are not talking like this. Okay. We are not talking about like this. We are talking about this horizontal. Initially, what we have done is we have found out the vertical average. Yes or no? We have found out the vertical average. But now we are supposed to find the horizontal average like this. I mean, the student 1 average, student 2 average, like this we are supposed to find. So to do this, first thing that we are going to do is we are going to find the students, I mean, the first 10 students. To do that, let me write here students. I mean, first 10 students, let me write first 10 students is equal to, we'll call the array students array. Well, get, okay, first of all, what I'm supposed to get? We are supposed to get the values from 0 to 10. Am I right? So because it will go to 9. So 0 to 9, 10 rows we are able to print. So let us print this first 10 students. Let's see whether it is correct or not. Yes, we are getting from student 1 to student 10 now. Now, what is the one column that we are supposed to remove so that we can find out the average? The first column, right? So what is the index value of this first column? It is a 0. So we are starting from 1 and we are mentioning the colon. That means first column, that is from this column, it is able to access the entire thing, ignoring the first, I mean, 0th column, that is the student name. Let's run it. Okay, now we are getting only the subject marks now. Now we'll start to print. While printing, if I mention, okay, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. Yeah, if I print, let's say students, okay, yeah, student average of first 10 students. If the question was find overall average, okay, find the student, okay, overall student average. Okay, if this was the question, find the overall student average of the first 10 students. Now the answer is like this. You're finding the first 10 students and directly you are using the main function. Yes or no? Directly you make use of the main function and run it. So you're able to see 51.0 is the overall average. That means this from student 1 to student 10, this is the total average. Okay, from student 1 to student 10, all the values has been added and divided by number of students. Then this is the output or this is the average. But the question is find the student average. That means I want student 1 average, I want student 2 average, I want student 3 average, likewise. Okay, to do this, we are supposed to change the axis of the main function. Now, in the main function, basically there are two axes. Okay, there are two axes. Now, the if you want to, okay, first of all, let me just give the example, then I'll explain. Okay, so if I want row-wise axis, I'll mention axis is equal to 1. Can you see? If I mention axis is equal to 1, now we're getting 77. Basically, we are getting the 10 values now or 10 averages here. What do you mean by 10 averages? This is the student 1 average, this is the student 2 average, 3, 4, and basically it will move on to the 10th average. Okay. Now, if this happens whenever you're mentioning axis is equal to 1, that means I'll write here axis is equal to 1 means row wise average. Okay. If the question was slightly changed, find the subject average of the first students. Can you tell me what I'm supposed to do? Find the subject average. Now it is not the student average we are talking about. Now we are supposed to find the subject average. So according to the subject, student 1, subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4, and subject 5, we are supposed to find. It is not axis is equal to 2. It is axis is equal to 0. Okay. So if you mention axis is equal to 0, you can see student average for the, sorry, it is not student average, subject average. Subject average of the first 10 students is 48.7. Can you see basically we have 6 averages, right? Sorry, 5 averages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So whenever you can see the 5 averages, that means you can understand that, okay, 5 subject marks is there. And this is the average of that 5 subject marks. But whenever you can see more than that, that means it is a student average. Okay, I hope this is where you are understanding whatever we have done just now. You are able to understand. So axis is equal to 1 means it is basically row wise average. But if it is axis is equal to 0, that means it is column wise